Brianna Ray from BriIY, and I'm here to bring you another video. I'm super excited about this one because it is something that I am crazy passionate about and has obviously gotten a million times better since they first started, and that is budget crafting at the Dollar Tree. Now, I know everyone's Dollar Tree can tend to be a little bit different, but I wanted to show you some of the really amazing things that I've seen coming out lately at my Dollar Tree and the things that I consistently go back and either recommend or pick up every single time I go. Another important thing to note is that not everything here is actually from the craft section. Some of these things you're going to find at different places around the store, but I find exceptionally beneficial, especially when it comes to crafting. Let's start off with the basics. First things first is glue sticks. I always pick up some whenever I go to the store, and something really great that they've recently started selling is these full-size glue sticks. So now I know that I can pick up any size that I need. Something else that's really nice about the Dollar Tree glue sticks is they do come in the colored or glitter variety. I know not everyone uses these, and I don't really use them a whole bunch myself, but some of these colors are really nice. The gold, the silver, and this like iridescent white I think are very nice and definitely could come in handy, especially when it comes to decorating closer to the holidays. On the topic of hot glue, this is actually something I just picked up today, and I cannot stress how excited I am about these. They have finger protectors now, which I think would be excellent for whenever you are doing some hot glue crafts or using it for whatever purpose or reason, especially for tinier objects, just to make sure that you're protecting your fingers from any burns. Dollar Tree carries a pretty significant collection of different kinds of glues. I would say probably one of the best deals is their tiny bottles of Mod Podge. I have a big large one for gloss, so I didn't really need any more of the gloss, but they do sell it in matte and gloss form. I don't have any matte Mod Podge, and I definitely needed some, so this was a nice deal, especially because I feel like the more that you use Mod Podge, the kind of more disgusting it gets to use. I currently have, I think, some glitter actually sitting around inside of my larger Mod Podge, so I get kind of anxious when I have to use it, but using tiny ones like this, especially with the squirt bottle, will make it nice and easy to make sure that your Mod Podge stays perfectly clean. And I'm not exactly sure if each of these in particular came from Dollar Tree, but I do know that at various times I have seen both of these sold, either just as generic wood glue or as the tacky glue, but these are pretty basic and pretty good PVA glues that I would highly recommend for just about any project. I really love the wood glue. The Eileen's brand is amazing, so if you ever happen to see these, don't forget to pick them up because they are super, super useful. And of course, one more glue is the super glue. I always try to go for the capped ones that come with the particular squeeze bottles instead of the ones you have to cut yourself, or the metal bottoms, just because I feel like these tend to last a little bit longer. You get two of these in a pack of two, and obviously for $1, so 50 cents for one of these little super glues, especially if you don't use too much of it all too often. Definitely well worth it. I always pick these up when I'm there because I am always going through super glue, even for just general at-home emergencies, but for crafting, it is always a lifesaver. As far as tools go, Dollar Tree has also really stepped up its game. One of the most impressive finds that I found recently is this cutting mat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I always struggle to find inexpensive cutting mats, and even though this is maybe a little bit smaller of a size in this 8x6 rectangle, it definitely handles a lot of my tinier cuts that I need to make really easily, and they also sell a handful of cutting tools to make sure that you have everything you need. This craft knife set comes with 6 different knife blade tops. And they're interchangeable on this one item. So for $1, I think this is a ridiculous steal, especially if you feel like you might need to have a lot of different shapes for various precise cutting. I think that this is an awesome find, and I would highly, highly recommend you grab this if you don't have it already. Another tool that I absolutely flipped for when I finally realized what it was the roller cutter or rotary cutter. I have a larger professional grade one that I use whenever I am trying to do sewing projects, but this is super awesome to have and came straight from the Dollar Tree, especially if you're just trying to cut something, you know, it doesn't need to be perfect, but you want to cut quickly. This is absolutely the tool to do it. This didn't come from the Dollar Tree, but I did see these here just today. They do have these like clear squirt bottles, I suppose, which I think would be awesome if you ever happen to mix your own paint. I don't mix my own paints a whole lot, so I don't totally need something like that, but I did want to throw it out there in case you are someone who needs something in that nature. Some more that are kind of obvious that come straight from the craft station are these pens. They do sell these metallic markers, and honestly, metallic Sharpies can get kind of expensive, so it's nice to see that they do have an off-brand alternative, and especially in the two basic colors that people tend to use the most. Golds are obviously very popular right now, so I was really excited to see these, not only in the general metallic, but also in chalk markers. They had a huge variety of chalk markers there today. And obviously they're erasable, they go on chalkboards, which they sell tons of, windows, mirrors, all that good stuff. It's just nice to know that they have this kind of stuff there in a variety of colors that are both usable and in like bright, more interesting colors maybe for teachers like myself. Double-sided tape. Paper crafters, you know what I'm talking about. Super nice to have, and especially have on this really big roll. I tend to like to keep mine around my wrist, especially when I'm like doing even like wrapping Christmas presents and things like this. So this is a super nice big size that I can keep around my wrist for various paper crafting and the like. Speaking of tape, washi tape. Amazing. They have such cute designs. I got this little cactus design from there probably a couple months ago. I believe this one came along with it, this like metallic kind of look to it, which I was super impressed by. I'm not sure if this is the one that came with the set, but these three were sitting together in my container, so I'm thinking that maybe they were. Dollar Tree is also really good for brushes. Again, this is not something that I got from Dollar Tree because I didn't need the ones from Dollar Tree, but this is the most comparable one that I found in my current collection. They had these white tops, nice acrylic bases. No more of those, crappy little plastic tip ones that you get with Crayola markers. They have some really nice brush sets there, and foam brushes, of course, as well. Chalkboard paint. I can't believe they're selling this. Like, this is incredible. I haven't tested it out yet, but I am super excited to do this. I didn't even mention these when I was talking about the tools, but they have a wood carving set, which honestly, I probably wouldn't even use for wood carving, but you know what it does look a whole lot like? This stamp carving set. You can get a ton of these rubber blocks on Amazon for a relatively inexpensive amount of money, and pop this set in here and be able to make your own at-home stamps for like a fraction of the cost. I think I got this one stamp block and this with maybe one interchangeable head on it. Here it is. For I think $12, but $1 here and $10 on maybe 8 more of these, you're obviously saving way more money. And then you can make super cute little stamps like these. Lamps. If you ever need something to dry overnight, you know how coveted these are. I feel like, so many times when I see YouTubers online doing any sort of clamping, they're always using, nuts or like pre-made presses or something like this. I think it's really nice to be able to have some larger and even smaller sized clamps just to hold things together, maybe when you don't have the time or energy to do it yourself. Speaking of holding things together, zip ties. You don't think you need them until you need them. I've used these a lot for a lot of different things over the last couple of years. Sometimes it's really nice to be able to kind of hold things together or, keep things in the appropriate position that you need them in. And also, sometimes I like to use them to clean my drains. This twine, jute cord, whatever, is the absolute perfect size for everything. It's not too thick, it's not too small. Amazing. Super, super recommend. And I know not every Dollar Tree is going to sell this, but man, do I love that mine does yarn, little tiny skeins of yarn. And I'm actually really looking forward to having another niece of mine on the way, and I am going to be making quite a few baby projects coming up, so I actually bought 4 of these with the intent of making a tiny little teddy bear. And of course, if you spend enough time in the floral section, you'll find the right kind of ribbon. Paint palettes. Need I say more? They have the big ones, they have the small ones. They have even some that are shaped like Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Super cute. We always need them. Go get them from Dollar Tree. Canvases. I shouldn't be the first person to tell you this, but come on, for $1, what a steal. I'm so excited to paint on these square 8x8s. I feel like this is maybe a newer size. I haven't seen this one super regularly around. They have the flat ones in pretty large sizes, or if you want to get something smaller, you can get the stretched canvases. I also like to use these for a variety of other crafts. Actually, the reason I purchased these is not even to use the canvas necessarily, which I will, of course, but I actually wanted to use the frames on the inside of them because I am going to try to make a mold for paper making, and I'm pretty sure I even made a loom out of one of these once. So definitely recommend. You can get a huge use out of not just these but the frames as well. I won't dwell too long on this one, but Dollar Tree has some really interesting specialty paper. They have metallic papers, this super gorgeous pink glitter paper. They have magnifying paper. They have an adhesive corkboard as well. So super awesome. Sometimes you don't need 50 sheets of photo paper. This one has 8 sheets. I mean, come on, for $1, who doesn't need more photo paper? I am so excited to try this. It feels squishy even in the package. Come on, this is so exciting. Air dry clay. Oh gosh, I am so excited to use this. I cannot even stress how excited I am to use this. Craft sticks, great for mixing paint on the rare occasions that I do mix paint. I call this an embossing tool. I call this a dotting tool. If you like nail art, definitely worth grabbing. And I feel like they also sold quilling tools for paper quilling. So if this is something that you're interested in, check in the same area for quilling tools. That's where you twist up the paper. This guy, yes, they sell these at Dollar Tree too. And now for the more out of left field kind of stuff and maybe more niche specific crafting tools. These next 3/4-ish, I would say, are really awesome if you are into Cricut crafting. First is this nail polish holder. I just bought this today and I've seen this hack going around all over the internet. This is super great because it's meant for you to kind of hold your nail polish when you are painting so that it doesn't spill. However, what crafters are currently doing is they are taking their weeding tools and would be able to go in here and use the little holder bits to scrape any of that weeding material off your tool so you can weed faster instead of having to continuously go back and clear out your tool. So if you like to do bigger projects with vinyl, you absolutely need this. This is a scraper cutter tool that comes out of the kitchen section, and it's obviously designed for you to cut. Hope you didn't like that ASMR. But I've seen a lot of people using this pretty effectively as a burnishing tool, and all that requires, of course, is some masking tape. So all you would have to do is take your masking tape off the roll. Just gonna stretch this tape off, and I'm gonna set it right here at the bottom of the tool, lay it down flat, and fold it over on the back. But this way you can scrape, burnish all of your things, and have a way larger area to do it. Super awesome hack. I've also seen a lot of people use masking tape in a variety of sizes as a way to do transfer tape. So you can cut it or, pull it to as long or as short of a length as you need and layer it up over and over again so that you can create transfer tape. Or you can use what I just found, which is this clear/transparent adhesive cover, and this is kind of where you find with the contact paper or with shelf liners. I found this in there, so if you like the idea of having clear transfer tape and not having to worry about a more opaque or even translucent is probably a better term, masking tape, this is a really easy, super removable way to do exactly the same thing without spending a disgusting amount of money on the Cricut brand transfer tape or even other transfer tapes. $1 for this whole thing is, I think, a pretty good steal. And the absolute last thing on the list, and again, maybe a little bit out of left field, but I saw this and couldn't resist buying it, and I'm super excited to try it. This electronic nail kit. I think if you need to maybe smooth down some of the splintery ends of some of the objects that you've gotten from Dollar Tree, not such a bad investment, and probably even better for your nails since it's a little bit slower, easy for buffing and all that. Well, I do think that is all she wrote. I'm here just to finish up with some thumbnail photos, and I think that's pretty much the best I can recommend as far as craft supplies from the Dollar Tree go. There are obviously some things that you will 100% have to buy elsewhere, an actual hot glue gun, decent quality paint. Not everything great is going to come from the Dollar Tree, but there are some really awesome tools and some pretty unexpected friends that might kind of pop their head in for every now and then, and definitely be worth $1 in your wallet. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye!